Hi there. So we are doing 4NF4 teaching set number 2. We are looking at our multiplying a whole number by a fraction. So being able to multiply that fraction a certain number of times. And so that's what we're going to practice doing. But we also have to mark if it's equal to, there's 4 different ones that we're looking at. So that it's equal to. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here and get a little closer so you guys can see that really well. And we'll get going. So in the last video, in set number 1, I told you kind of the quick way to do it, the cheater way to do it. And that is when we look at a whole number, remember that a whole number is always going to be, if we were to write it as a fraction, it's going to be over 1. Now, if you watch the vocabulary video, or if you remember, when we multiply fractions, we just multiply straight across the top, the numerators, and straight across the bottom, the denominators. So the first thing I'm going to do in each one of these problems is I'm going to solve what it's asking us, is it equal to? What's it equal to? So we're going to solve that first. So here is our 6 times 2/5. I'm going to do that over here a little bit bigger. 6 times 2/5. So remember that we're going to write the whole number over 1, and then we multiply straight across the top. So 6 times 2 is 12, and 1 times 5, that one's easy, right, is 5. Okay, I'm going to look at 12/5. Notice that the numerator is greater than the denominator, which means that it's an improper fraction. Now, we could divide it, but I'm just going to leave it in the improper form and see what happens. And then we'll compare our fractions, just improper to improper. All right, so here we go. Let's look at 3 times 2/10. So 3 times 2/10, if we write that 3 as a fraction, 3 over 1, 3, so, and then we're just going to multiply the numerators. 3 times 2 equals 6. 1 times 10 is 10. So, looking at this one, even though this denominator is a 10, even though this, this denominator is a 10 and this one's a 5, we don't even have to convert anything because, remember, I said that this one's an improper fraction, which means that it's greater than 1 whole. But if we look at 6/10, that's not an improper fraction. So it is going to be less than 1 whole. So it's not equal to the 12/5. It's not equal. Okay, so if you were going to have to say which one's greater, this one's going to be greater because it's an improper fraction. So it's greater than 1 whole. Let's look at the next one. 10 times 2/6. We're going to write 10 over 1. We're writing 10 as a fraction. 10 over 1. 10 times 2 equals 20. And 1 times 6 equals 6. Okay, so we look at this one and say, well, yeah, that one's an improper fraction. Could it be equal to 12/5? Well, it's kind of tricky. If we were to make the denominators the same, or I'm trying to think which way we should do this. So let's go ahead and let's divide 12 by 5. And that's going to give us a mixed number. Okay, so we're going to take our 12 and we're going to go 12 divided by 5. Okay, so this is kind of a review. You got to know your division. 12 divided by 5. How many times does 5 go into 12? 5, 10. So 2, right? Then we multiply. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring it down. Divide, multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract. 2 take away 0 is 2. And bring it down. There's nothing else to bring down. So our answer is 2 and 2/5. Okay, so 2 and 2/5. So we can write it as 12/5 or 2 and 2/5. So now let's do the same for our 26ths, our 20 over 6. 20 divided by 6. How many times can 6 go into 20? 6, 12, 18. 3. Already well, no, we cannot say that. So 6 times 3 is 18. I just we just went through that. So then we subtract 20, take away 18. Cross off, we have to borrow. Well, actually, you wouldn't really even have to do that. You should just be able to count from 18 to 20 and know that it's 2. So now we have, this one is 3 and 2/6, but okay, so actually, no, you know what? I'm not going to reduce this because I'm going to now compare my numerators. So when we look at our 3 and 2, and actually this isn't even, it's not even close, so it's not equal. This one's not equal. We could say 2/6 and 2/5. Let's just double check. I don't think it is. To make them a 30. Yeah, I'm not even going to do that. So it is not equal. 12 over 1. The next one, moving on. 12 over 1. 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 5 is 5. Oh, look at that. That one is equal. 12/5, 12/5. So it is equal. Okay, let's look at the next one. Decide whether each expression is equal to 3 and 3/4. So let's multiply 3. Sorry, trying to get it back together here. So 3 times 3/4 over here. I'm going to write it over 1. 3 times 3 equals 9. 1 times 4 equals 4. So we're looking for 9/4. 9/4. Okay, 9/4. So we look at 9 over 1. Write that 9 as a whole. 9 times 1 is 9. 1 times 4 is 4. 9/4. So it is equal. 9/4. Okay, 6. We're going to write that over 1. 6 times 2 equals 12. 1 times 4 equals 4. 12/4 does not equal 9/4. Okay. 2 over 1. Change that whole number into the fraction. 2 times 2 is 4. And 1 times 4 is 4. So 4/4, which also equals 1 whole, does not equal 9/4. Okay, does not equal. Let's look at number 3. All right, so decide whether each is equal to 3 times 4/6. So let's work out 3 times 4/6 to figure out what that actually is. So 3 over 1, right? 3 is a fraction. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 times 6 is 6. Now I could leave it at that, but as you can see, 12, I could divide 12. 12 divided by 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So you could say that it also equals 2. Okay, either one of those. Here we go. Let's multiply these fractions. Put that whole number over 1. So 4 times 3 equals 12. and 1 times 6 equals 6. So 12 sixths does equal 12 sixths. So it is equal. The next one, 12 times 1. Oh, put that 12 over 1. 12 times 1 is 12. And 1 times 6 is 6. So 12 sixths does equal 12 sixths. Okay, then we have, oh, they're trying to throw in a little tricky one here. We're going to just multiply across the top. 3 times 4. 3 times 4 across the top there. That's teeny tiny. 3 times 4 is 12 over 6. So all of those are equal to 12 sixths. Okay, so we're going to do the last one down here. And we'll be done. And then you guys will have to do the student set on your own. Okay, so here we go. Last one. So we're looking at, is it equal to 4 times 4 sevenths? So let's do it over here. 4 times 4 sevenths. So 4 times 4 is 16. And remember, that's over 1. 1 times 7 is 7. So we're looking for 16 sevenths. Okay, so here is teeny tiny again. 4 times 4. 4 times 4 does equal 16. And it's still over 7. Okay, so that one is equal. 16 sevenths. 16 sevenths. All right, 16 times 1 seventh. So 16 over 1. That's 16 as a fraction, written as a fraction. 16 times 1 equals 16. 1 times 7 equals 7. So that one also is equal. This last one is 7. So 7 over 1. 7 times 2 equals 14. 1 times 4 equals 4. So that one is not equal. Okay, so now it's your job to do, oh, let me get it out here. Student set number 2. So do student set number 2. Same thing, exactly what we did. If you have any questions, go ahead and message me. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.